Hello, Sashenka, and Merry Christmas. This is your friend Michael. Do you remember when Wendy and I, Wendy's my wife, we were up there visiting your grandpa and grandma? This was last year, and we met you for the first time. And do you remember when we brought up those little toy animals and we gave them to you as a gift for our first meeting? Well, your grandpa and grandma have told me how much you love them. And so they asked me if I would make you a very special toy for this Christmas. And I said, well, of course, but what would you want me to make? And they said, well, you just use your imagination. I know she'll love whatever you make. I said, oh, that will be fun. So I came back to my workshop, and this is my workshop, and these are some of the toys that I built over the years, and I began to think, well, we could make planes, or we could make boats, or carriages, and horses, and just all kinds of things, but it just, no, that wasn't quite it. And then I had a bright idea. It hit me. Do you remember when I was at your house, and you took me up to your bedroom and your toy room, and you showed me all around? Well, you know what I saw? I saw a circus tent in your playroom. And then it hit me. A circus tent, and then you love the animals. So, why don't we make a circus wagon for you with all the animals and acrobats and circus clowns? And what you could do is you could pretend travel to all different places. You could set up your circus. You could have your own three-ring circus. People would come from all over the place to see that show. You could train the animals. You could train the circus acrobats, and they would just be dazzled. What do you think? Is that a good idea? I think so too. So, we got the idea, right? Now, what we want to do is we got to figure, how do we get that idea out of our head and into a toy? So, the first thing we got to do is we got to get it out. So I want to show you what wait a minute. We first need, what are we going to make? We're going to make a circus wagon for sure, but we got animals. Well, so there's got to be an elephant, circus elephant. A lion, there's got to be an elephant and a lion and a tiger or a black panther maybe. A giraffe, you got to have a giraffe. And how about a hippopotamus? I just love the way that word anyway. We'll do a hippo. So first thing we do is we got to figure out what it's going to look like. So I want to show you while we did the first one. We drew this picture of this elephant. So we've got to have an elephant, and this will be the elephant. And then what we do is we look at what kinds of wood that we want to use. You see all this kinds of wood up here, these pieces, and we take all these different kinds of pieces of wood, and we draw on the wood, and then we shape it with different tools and things, and we come up with a circus wagon. Well, we hope we do anyway, with animals, and with acrobats and circus clowns, and who knows what else. So I started working on this right after I met you last year. And it's been so much fun. I can't wait to show you. I can't wait to. So we're going to pause here for a little bit, and we're going to go into another room, and we're going to see the circus wagon all done. And I want to show you the different parts and pieces. So, are you ready? Let's go. So, here we are. Are you ready? It's underneath this veil. Circus music, please. There we are, a circus wagon. So, let me take you through all of the different tour of the different animals and the acrobats and how you can hook this elephant up to the front of the wagon so they can pull the wagon. So in here we have a special little lead for the elephant. Isn't that beautiful? And we'll put this on here like this. And then we'll hook our elephant up to the carriage. So now the job, this elephant's job, and what this elephant loves to do, is to take the other animals all in here to different places all around, like this. So that's the way this carriage and this circus wagon actually gets from place to place, is this elephant pulls a circus wagon. But let's take a look at all the different animals. So let's take the back door down and let's see what we have here. Well, here's that hippopotamus we were talking about. Look at this guy and look. There's his mouth. Opening his mouth wide. We're going to put him up here on top at the three-winged circus that we have up here on top. We have 3 different rings. Now we've got more animals in that, so we can kind of switch them around. But for now, we'll take these 3 right here. Like this. And we'll go with a lion. Now I want to show you something really, really special here. There's our lion right there. I want to show you something really special here. So I'm going to turn the carriage around now. Okay? And we're going to turn it around like this. Like this. And we'll have it like this. And what do you see here? Look at the giraffe. And can you see his head poking up out of the roof? His neck is just too long. So we have to make a little hole for this to come out of the roof like that. So we can take him out too, but I just wanted to show you that. And we'll take him out in a minute. But for now, we'll leave him in here. But you also, and let's turn it back around, you also are going to need a driver, right? I mean, you're going to need a driver for this. So let's see what we have in here. I think I see it's a Ringmaster. Look here. All right, we're going to set the Ringmaster right up there, and now the carriage has a driver. But he's also a Ringmaster, right? So once the circus wagon arrives at its next show, now we'll close the cage up and we'll take our circus Ringmaster, and we have a place for him right up here. Now he is teaching all the animals different tricks up, and you can do so many different tricks up here with the animals. The hippopotamus, they all know their tricks, but that's going to be up to you to teach them as many different tricks as we want. So you might even want to say, well, you know, I want to take this 3 rings here that we have here that the animals perform, and I think I'd like to take this and set it down on the ground. Well, you can do that too. We'll take this off, the Ringmaster off. We'll set our animals over here. Oops. And we'll lift our 3 ring, and so you can take the 3-ring circus here. You can put your animals back on it like that. You can set your Ringmaster up here. You can take your animals like that, right there. And while they're playing here, and while the Ringmaster is guiding them in their tricks, some people might want to see an acrobat, right? Okay. Well, let's take our giraffe out. We'll lift him up this way, and we'll just put him right over here. There's our giraffe. So now we have our elephant, our giraffe, we have our black panther, our lion, and our hippopotamus. And you know, there's nothing that they love to do better than to perform for people. So they're going to have a performance here, but let's also at the same time have a high wire act. So we'll put these pieces in here, these pieces here, and let's see, we have a high wire. Now where this goes is actually, there's a couple of magnets here. If you want to come around here, we can show you that. There's a couple of magnets here, and that's where this stays right here. Now when you want to do a high wire rack, you just take this off here, and we'll bring it here. And we'll put it in like this. Now, we've got a high wire, but we need an Acrobat. So let's come down here and find an Acrobat. Let's look in here. And we've got an Acrobat. Look at this. And what? Let's do a fun one here. Let's do this one like this. Up here like this and around. So this Acrobat can do all kinds of tricks. It can hang from 1 foot. It can hang from 2 foot. Like this. And it can come around and around and around like that. It can actually walk a tightrope like this. You can walk them along like this and then swing again. So this is your tightrope, and you can teach this Acrobat all kinds of tricks up here. But we also have an acrobatic clown. So let's set our Acrobat just over here now, for now, and let's take our high wire and put it back where it was. Very important to put all the pieces back where they are, because there's a lot of different pieces and each have their own special place. So let's see our acrobatic clown. Well, there are a few pieces that are very important for the clown to be able to perform his tricks. So these particular pieces fit in these 2 slots here. You've got to match the red on the outside, the red on the outside, or the green and the green. They have to be together. So, not like this, green and red, not like that, but like this. So that these two big diamonds are on the outside and they match in color. So we'll put those like that. And look who we have here. We have our little acrobatic clown. So let's see what he can do for performance, or she. There we go. And you can do it by just twisting like that. You can do fast, or you can just do slow. And that's our acrobatic clown. So let's take these pieces now and put them all back together so you can see how this all works together. So these will come off, and where do these go? They go down in here in our little secret compartment. Our acrobat, where does he or she go? Well, she goes back to sleep in our little compartment there. And what about our ringmaster? Well, we'll put him in there too, or her, I should say, in there too. So we have those pieces in their right home. We have this high wire back where we said it was before. These we're going to take out. We're going to put our acrobatic clown here, and we'll take and put each of these animals back in their cages. Much easier to do when we take the 3 rings off. And here's our giraffe. Now, the giraffe sits on a little stand here, and there are little magnets there, so it'll tell you exactly where to put him, so that when you put this back on, it fits over his head just perfectly, like that. And you want to put this in like this. Best to hold this right here and put that on there like that, and then just lower it like that. And then we'll take these high wire pieces, and we'll put those in those holes right there, and that right there. And we'll close this up. Let's see, get this here, that was in the way. Close that up. And now the animals are back in their cages. It's probably nighttime and they're ready to go to sleep. So there's one thing I want to be sure that we consider when we're talking and when we're taking care of the animals. See, this is a circus wagon that is theirs to allow them to be taken from one place to another to put on their three-ring circus. But it's really important, and sometimes you can even do this at night, to leave the door open so that they can sometimes wander out, or you can take them out of the cage, because we don't want to lock animals up. We want to treat them just as nicely as we can. And so we don't want to just keep them in the cage all the time. So there it is. There's your circus wagon, and I can't tell you how much fun it's been to create and imagine and build this for you. I so wish I was there to enjoy it, you opening it, but we'll certainly be there in spirit, and we just wish you the merriest Christmas. Okay, bye-bye.